All right, guys, Michael Cohen here with you on the Sports Talk Nation. We've got a lot to talk about. Yankees taking out the Boston Red Sox in 3 games. They win Game 3, deciding Game 3 by a score of 4-0. And it's all because of that man right there, Cam Schlittler, who was absolutely brilliant. One of the best starts by a Yankees pitcher. In fact, he made a lot of history. We're going to go over that and talk about that here on this video as the Yankees move on, and they will take on the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League Division Series. As I mentioned in the Yankee video that I did about whether the Yankees are the team to beat in the American League, with the pitching that we have seen by the Yankees in this series, if they get the kind of quality starting pitching they have gotten in these 3 games, they're going to be very tough to beat. In fact, they're going to be tough to beat against any team, whether it be Toronto, Seattle, Detroit, and then whoever comes out of the National League. So they are playing, as I said this going in, as good as anybody right now. Okay? I know the other hot team right now in the American League would be Seattle, but the Yankees coming into this playoffs had won 25 of 33, and now they take 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox. So let's go right into this game, into this Game 3. Now, first things first, here is this on Cam Schlittler. One of the best starts by a rookie pitcher, and this being his first ever playoff start, okay? One of the best starts by a rookie pitcher. This guy was topping 100 miles an hour at several different points in the first inning. I think 6 different times they tracked him hitting at 100 miles an hour, and even as he got into the later stages of the game, was still hitting in the upper 90s and into the 100s at a couple of times as well. He was filthy. I heard a stat, David Coe mentioned it during the game, that 20 of his 23 sinkers were for strikes. 20 of the 23 were for strikes. He had his 4-seam fastball moving around all over the plate. Red Sox couldn't keep up with it. Didn't matter who it was, okay? He had Duran totally guessing, the leadoff hitter for the Boston Red Sox. He was completely flummoxed all night. As he had that fastball topping around 94, 95, sometimes would get up to 96 or 97. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. And here's the stats that I've been telling you about. How out of nowhere, this is on yahoosports.com, how out of nowhere was this performance for Schlittler? Per MLB Pipeline's Sam Dykstra, he had never posted a double-digit strikeout in any game of his professional career. He struck out 12 in this game against the Boston Red Sox. Former 7th-round pick was still sitting in the low 90s as recently as 2 years ago and only made the majors after an enormous velocity jump. He broke the Yankees' record for most strikeouts in a postseason debut. He became the first rookie to hit double-digit strikeouts in a postseason game in 28 years. And he's the first pitcher ever to post at least 12 strikeouts, 0 walks in at least 8 innings of scoreless baseball. Only gave 5 hits on the entire night. That was it. And I think the last hit he gave up, it was Alex Bregman. I think it was in the 6th inning. That was it. He was incredible. And I'm surprised that Boone didn't leave him out there for the 9th, because I think he probably could have gone out there. But look, I get it. 107 pitches, that was enough. He had an incredible finish there. And of course, Ryan McMahon making that incredible catch down the third baseline. Looking, okay, maybe it wasn't exactly Derek Jeter flying into the stands, or David Wright with the Mets, flying into the stands in Seattle many years ago. But what a catch! I mean, to go right up against the railing of the Red Sox dugout, make that catch, and then while falling into the dugout head first, that was incredible. That was an incredible play by McMahon. And look, all these moves, these are moves that Brian Cashman made mid-season, right? McMahon, one of those moves that he made at the deadline, around the deadline, was to go out and get him to play third base and shore up defensively at that position. Pays off here in the postseason. Bringing up a guy like Schlittler, this year, when the Yankees need it the most, especially with all the injuries they had this year. Guys like Luis Hill was hurt, and of course Garrett Cole's been out for the entire season. They had so many pieces that were moving and changing throughout the course of the year. At one point this year, many people were wondering whether the Yankees had enough pitching. And now you look at this staff, and it's really good. It's really good. Of course, with an 18-game winner in Rodon, who pitched very well last night. Of course, you had a very good start out of Max Fried the other night in a game, in Game 1 that the Yankees ended up losing, but still, He, of course, is one of the best pitchers in baseball. And now you add Cam Schlittler to this list. And the Yankees, as I said at the top, if they continue to get good starting pitching as they are in this postseason, they're going to be impossible to beat because they get big hits in big spots. A couple of guys here that I want to make note of that have had really good series here in the American League Wildcard Series. One of them being Anthony Volpe and the other being, of course, Austin Wells. Now, Anthony Volpe, who has been under fire by Yankee fans throughout this season, right? He had 4 hits and 11 at-bats in this series, hitting just under 400. He had a big base hit in that 4th inning where the Yankees scored 4 runs that ended up making it a 2-0 ball game. And then, of course, in Game 1, he had the solo home run that gave the Yankees a 1-0 lead that they would hold until, of course, all the issues that propped up when Aaron Boone removed Max Fried from that ball game. But he played very well, he hit well, and he played good defense. Made a couple of nifty plays defensively, including one in Game 3 where he saved a really bad throw by Jazz Chisholm towards second base, and Volpe had to kind of do a little bit of a hop and try to cover second base at the same time. He did a nice job. He had a good series. And then, of course, Austin Wells. I mean, he had the 2-run single, or 2-run double, I should say, that gave the Yankees the lead in Game 2. And then in this game, he gets 2 more runs. Now, granted, it was considered a fielder's choice because the ball hit the ground, bounced up, and off the glove of Nathaniel Lowe, considered an error. But he had a big series, did Austin Wells, for the Yankees in this series. So the young guys, again, and I know Wells and Volpe now at this point, this is their 2nd straight year in the postseason. It's hard to say they're still young guys, but they are. The young guys for the Yankees that have been developing in this system and coming up through Somerset at Double-A and then quickly going through Triple-A continue to make an impact, whether it be Austin Wells, whether it be Ben Rice, whether it be Anthony Volpe, and of course now Cam Schlittler adds his name to that list after one of the best starts by Yankee postseason history. And you can talk about so many great starts, right? Don Larson, the perfect game against the Dodgers, and what was it, the 56 World Series. Any start by Andy Pettitte that you've seen, that you can remember during the Yankees run in the late 90s, early 2000s, this start by Schlittler is right up there. So it was an impressive showing as the Yankees come away with the victory. You have to feel good about where this team is right now. And everyone now has forgotten about what happened in Game 1. Everyone's forgotten about what happened in Game 1. Because it wasn't that long ago, not even 48 hours ago, maybe 36 hours ago, people were talking about if the Yankees lose this series, is Aaron Boone in trouble? Because he took Max Fried out of Game 1 when the Yankees were winning 1-0, and of course the bullpen, which is still a concern, blew it in Game 1. And the concern and thought was, well, if the Yankees lose this series, is Aaron Boone done? Well, he ain't going anywhere. And I think there needs to be some talk about the Red Sox, how they blew this series, because they had the bases loaded. I believe they had a chance. I remember there was a chance for them to score a run, and they didn't in that 7th inning in Game 2 when they had the bases loaded, and failed. And that, we could sit here and question Alex Cora, his coaching staff, in retrospect now, considering that they are the ones who are going home and the Yankees are moving on. But no more talk about Aaron Boone's hot seat, at least for right now, as the Yankees move on to Toronto. And this will be the first time, hard to believe, but when you consider, of course, the Blue Jays haven't exactly been a perennial playoff team over the last several decades, this will be the first time the Yankees and the Blue Jays meet in the postseason when they started up in Toronto. And, of course, this is going to be a fun series. I mean, these two teams were neck and neck down the stretch at the end of the regular season. I know the Blue Jays won 8 out of 13 this year during the regular season. That's the reason why they won the division title. But the way these two teams played, granted at a long distance against one another, to see who would win this division down the stretch in the regular season, with Toronto sweeping Tampa Bay. The Yankees were sweeping the Orioles at the time last weekend, and both teams ended up with 94 wins, and it will be fun. It's going to be a fun series up north of the border to start. It's a big crowd. That place gets extremely loud. Remember the Remember the Jose Bautista home run for the Blue Jays back in, 2015? And the entire stadium, the Sky Dome, exploded. That's the kind of atmosphere we're going to see at Sky Dome or Rogers Center, wherever they call it now, up there in Toronto. It's going to be an incredible scene. It'll be an incredible scene back here in New York, and should be a fun series between two very good baseball teams. So another thing about this, one more thing about this Red Sox-Yankees series, this was the first time the Yankees have beaten the Red Sox in a postseason series since 2003. That was, of course, the series where Aaron Boone, when he was a player, won that series. Game 7, home run, extra innings. Remember that one? As that sent the Yankees to the World Series, but of course they would lose to the Marlins. And ever since that time, the Red Sox have owned the Yankees in the playoffs, starting, of course, the next year in 2004. So for the first time in, 22 years, that the Yankees have won a playoff series against the Red Sox. That's a huge feat. And now they go up to take on a Toronto team that took the division and kept the division from them. Should be a fun series. And all 4 division series now set. Yankees, Blue Jays, Mariners, Tigers, Phillies, and Dodgers. That's going to be a fun one. And the Cubs and the Brewers. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time.